you're gonna go on your very first solo Boundary Waters trip, particularly if you're gonna go in the fall. You know, today's the second last day of September. This is the kind of weather you want to paddle on. If you're not familiar with the Boundary Waters Canoe Wilderness, you might be wondering what I'm doing or where I'm at. For years, I've dreamed about doing a solo canoe trip in the BWCA. The Boundary Waters Canoe Wilderness on the Minnesota-Canadian border is a collection of over 1,600 lakes and 1 million acres of protected wilderness. Set aside for paddling and hiking, this is one of the best places in the entire world for camping and fishing. One of the things that makes the BWCA so unique and interesting is each lake is connected by a portage trail where you have to pick up your canoe and your gear and carry it to the next lake. So thanks for coming along with me today. This is my very first solo Boundary Waters canoe trip. And along with exploring and camping the Boundary Waters, I'm really hoping for a chance to see the Northern Lights. Takes me a little longer doing the solo portage. I got a double portage every time. So first I take the canoe with the food pack, and I go back and get the gear pack, and then my camera and fishing equipment pack. But so far not so bad. Especially I'm out here all by myself, solo tripping here. I don't want to get lost. I don't want to get injured. The key to navigating out here is recognizing landmarks. So on my map, all the red dots are campsites. I'm looking right across the lake over there on the other side. See the opening of the trees, that's a campsite. And there's a peninsula over there. My map here, I've got a campsite and peninsula. There'll be another campsite around the corner up there a little bit. So I know where I'm at. Right there right now. It's incredible to me how intense the silence is out here. Amazing. Only thing out here with me is the wildlife, like loons. The call of the loon is one of the coolest sounds to hear in the Minnesota wilderness. Eerie, but awesome. This portage here from Newton Lake into Pipestone Bay, it's about a little more than a quarter mile long. So first trip down with the canoe, back for the rest of the gear. This is my third trip across it. Beautiful setting. Just really peaceful. That is the last of the portaging for me today. There's my canoe, and this is Pipestone Bay on Basswood Lake. 2 or 3 more miles of paddle to my campsite. Looks like there'd be really good fishing in here. Got the rapids back there with the waterfall and everything. I think I'll probably try to come back here tomorrow. Some fishing in here and see what I can find. The scenery out here is just stunning. The lake is a perfect mirror. What a beautiful reflection. And looking around the lake, I'm the only person here. There is no one in sight. I don't see a boat, canoe, anything. Just me, the water, and the trees. Perfect day, all to myself. Choosing a campsite is very important in my opinion. So this one might be okay. See if there's a place I can come in with a canoe. Canoe looks solid right there, careful with it. Let's go take a look at this campsite. See if this will work. You might be wondering, well, what makes a good campsite? Well, I like open air campsites, get a little breeze. I like when the fire pit area has a good view. That's a pretty good view. Faces west. Should get a good sunset out of it. I like campsites that look clean. Not a lot of trash anywhere. Looks good. Doesn't look overused. I think this campsite will work. And that's good because I'm getting tired. I'm paddling and portaging, I don't know, 8-9 miles now. So I'm a little bit tired from that. Let's get camp set up. I'm gonna get camp set up, but first thing I'm gonna do is put something more comfortable on my feet. I like having dry feet. The boots do a really good job while portaging, but they're not very comfortable. Super hot. Oh yeah, much better on my feet. Well, it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I really want to get some fishing done today, but first I need to get camp set up. I did bring a lot of gear with me. You might have noticed that. You know, just want to have a really great time and have some extra stuff. I did bring some pretty good quality food with me as well. So I've got more gear than normal. It's just me. I'm the one carrying it, so I paid the price myself. Here I am. Now I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to get my camp set up. So let's get into the gear. Water filter. We're going to need that soon. Cook kit. My sleeping bag. And a pot for hauling water. If you don't have a sleeping bag, you better have a tent with you. So here's my tent. And it's not a normal tent. I'm actually going to be tent hammocking. I really enjoy the flexibility of camping, and especially when you have a tent hammock. You don't have to worry about flat ground as much. You don't have to worry about where tree roots or rocks are. All you need is trees spaced out. We got lots of trees around here. But right here I've got 2 trees that look about perfect. View of the water. We have lakeside camping, you know, a real premium campsite here. It's very open. You could have a large group here. With the openness, it cuts down bugs because there's breeze moving through. I think it's a pretty good spot, so I'm gonna get set up. So there you go, very quick, very easy to set up. I've slept in that tent hammock before in a pretty good thunderstorm. It stays dry, it's got its own rain fly. If you want to, you could open up the rain fly, vents really well. It's all covered in screen mesh, no bugs getting in there. And you don't have to sleep on the ground, which is just great for my back. But there you have it, all set up. I'm gonna grab my sleeping bag and throw it in there. One of the key things of camping the boundary waters is that you need to be aware of bears, okay? Now, for most situations, a black bear is not going to cause you problems if you're here in camp or if you're aware of it or whatever. But bears are like any other wildlife. They're hungry. They want the easiest source of food. And your food smells good to them. My food smells good to them. So what you got to do is you got to make your food so it's work to get to it. If it's harder to get than the natural things, it generally won't bother your food. So what we do is we hang it on a tree. Now, most camps I've been to, it's very hard to find a good tree. This one's actually perfect. So the reason why it's perfect is because this rock is going to help me get the bag higher. So that's not an easy thing for a bear to get down. Sure, it could climb a tree, but if it's going to be that aggressive, there's nothing you can do about it anyway. So all the food's in there. So only one last thing I need to go get set up, because tonight when I'm done fishing, we're going to cook a steak, so I'm going to need fire. So let's go get some firewood. All right, so I'm just walking around the woods here. There are some trails back here, some game trails or something, and sure enough, there, right there is a tree that's down. So that'll work good for firewood. Okay, well, that looks like a lot of firewood. I think it's time to go fishing. So, rumor has it that Basswood Lake has what I consider to be the big three of northern Minnesota. Pike, walleye, and smallmouth bass. Those are my three favorite fish to fish for on a normal basis. If you can get them good sizes. I don't really care for catching small pike. I love catching smallmouth, love catching walleye, and big pike. So supposedly they're in here. They have good numbers of them, good size quality. Just hoping to catch a couple of them. Just missed it. Hit out there and then right at the canoe. Gone like an hour and a half without even feeling anything. Oh, it's a big pike. Big pike. There's a big pike in here. It's come up to me twice on the paddle tail. I just had that big swirl right behind. Oh. Oh. How to get off that? Pike. He's pulling the canoe around. And now we're going that way. Doesn't seem to matter where I fish in northern Minnesota, I catch pike. Now, if I wasn't planning eating steak tonight, I'd probably bring that guy in for dinner tonight, but I got a steak to eat, so. So, difficult day of paddling and portaging, you know, good but tiring. Fishing was very difficult today. I caught one fish. I had a pretty big pike follow me in 3 times. Just, I don't know, want to play with the lure, I guess. Just was showing itself to me but didn't hit. Kind of frustrating. The sun's getting lower, I gotta eat. Nothing really makes you feel better. And when you're camping, you have a really good meal. So tonight, I'm gonna grill a steak on the fire here. Got some water boiling for a wild rice soup, as well as make some hot chocolate. And I got a little bit of applesauce, so looking like it's gonna be a pretty good meal. Steak and wild rice soup. Good. Feeling better already. I need to come up with a better plan for tomorrow, because the one thing that was disappointing today was I only landed 1 fish. But tomorrow's a new day. Maybe I'll have a better plan by then. Well, it's been a pretty good day. Looked at the map. Looks like I paddled and portaged about 9 miles to get here. Then after setting up a camp, paddled around, went south for a ways around some islands, went north, probably another 3 or 4 more miles. So my arms are pretty tired and sore. It's incredible how quiet it is tonight. Outside the crackling of the fire, I don't hear anything. The water on the lake is perfectly flat. Sat down there for a while watching the sun go down. Tranquility is unreal. It's a little bit lonely. I wish one of my kids or my wife was here to hang out with me and share their experience. But it's also something very unique and beautiful to be all by yourself. I haven't even seen anybody. I haven't heard anything. I don't see any campfire lights. I haven't seen campfire smoke. I might be the only one on this entire lake. Good morning. It's pretty early, about 6 a.m. Still pretty dark out. Feels pretty chilly, so I'm gonna build a fire, try to warm up. It's amazing how good a fire can make you feel in the morning. And I'm warming up now, both from the motion of just cutting firewood and getting it ready and getting it going, but also the heat from the fire feels a lot better. When I went to bed last night, I walked down the lake. It was crystal clear skies, moon was out, Done for a while, went to bed, but I decided to leave my GoPro running, did a time lapse, and what do you know, the northern lights went crazy about 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, it's getting light out. See a lot better now, sun's coming up. Feeling a lot better. Fire feels great. Last night was a tough night of sleep. Something came through in the middle of the night, I could hear it. Knocked the pot over. So that's not a squirrel. It's kind of interesting being out here all by yourself, hearing noises. Boiling some water, gonna make some hot chocolate, then I'm gonna cook my bacon and eggs. All right, let's eat. Hot bacon and eggs for breakfast. Camping life is good life. I'm feeling much better about the day than I was an hour ago. It was cold last night. Went to bed a little bit frustrated with lack of fish being caught. I got a plan today. I'm gonna break camp and we're gonna move. I'm gonna move further back down the lake towards the falls. It's pretty warm. It's unseasonably warm. We're way above average right now. Very sunny. So I'm thinking those fish might want to be down where there's current. Water temperature should be more constant there with moving water. We'll try to see if that'll make a difference. It is morning of day 2. It has now been a little bit more than 24 hours since I have talked with or even seen another human being. Just been me and the trees and the water and the rocks now. One of the things that's interesting to me, because I've done a bunch of these boundary water trips, is usually I get worried about finding campsites or good ones. But yesterday, as I paddled up here, I passed, I don't know, a dozen campsites, and not a one of them was occupied. They're all just empty. Last night, I didn't hear any noises on the lake. Didn't hear anyone else out there. I might be the only one up here. It's the very last day of September, and I don't think I have to be too worried about campsites like it would be in July or August or any other time of the year, really. It's another beautiful weather day, very light winds, really great for paddling. Not quite the mirror service yesterday was, but very light winds. No real worries about weather at the moment. I'm gonna try to give you an idea of where I'm going today. So I camped right here last night. I fished all the way up and through here. Right there is where the big pike followed me in. Didn't get it. So I did catch a pike right here off this island. But right here is Pipestone Falls. And I'm thinking that here in this current, there's some deeper water, some islands. There might be some fish in there. So I'm gonna paddle down into it and I'm gonna shoot for that campsite right there to see if it's open. Made it to my next campsite. Go check it out. Looks pretty good. It's open. I think this will do for the night. Let me get settled in, get my tent set up again. I know that once I get out and start fishing, I'm not gonna wanna come in, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut a bunch of firewood and get stuff ready here so I can have fire. I'm gonna cook a lunch over fire and I want fire tonight, so it's gonna take quite a bit of firewood. We're gonna take care of some camp chores before I go out and do some fishing. I'm really hungry, so I'm gonna eat lunch. Brought bratwurst with me. Gonna get them cooking here on this fire. Fire suddenly started going. I was burning the outside, but the inside still got to cook a little bit more. One of the things that's really critical for me when camping is getting a good water filtration system. The water here has tannins in it. Gets a little bit of a stained color to it. So fill up the water bag. I screw the hose onto the filter there. Now I'm going to go hang it in a tree. So once I have it set up in the tree, I can refill my drinking water, just using the hose of gravity here. And this way I get good, clean drinking water. Now that camp is all set up, I'm going to do some fishing. First, I'm going to start here in the current below the rapids here and Pipestone Falls. Hoping to get something, see what we got. For about half an hour, I've been anchored there in the current. I realized that was not working, no bites. So I released the anchor and started drifting with the current to see if I could find anything. Nope, that didn't work either. It is incredible to me that I haven't got a bite out here. The rain looks perfect. Shoot, snagged. Trying to work this paddle tail, just kind of moving around the bottom, and must have found the bottom because I snagged up. The thing is, I know there's big fish in here. I have been here in this bay before about a year and a half ago with Brock, and I caught some really big northerns, so I know they're out here. Suppose this lake's got big smallmouth, big walleyes, and big northerns. I just don't know where to fish right now. Ooh, that's a fish. Little teeny baby northern, but it's a fish. Man, there you go. Not the size I was going for, but at least it's a fish. Thank you, fish. Well, it's another tough day of fishing. Had a couple of strikes. Only got that one fish, that one northern. I don't know. I don't know if it's the weather's just a little bit too good. It's just way warmer than usual. I don't know if it's that. Maybe I'm just throwing the wrong things. Is it just me? I don't know. I covered a lot of shoreline though. So I covered several miles of shoreline actually today. Went down in by the falls 2 different times, see if the current would do different things. I threw a red and white bucktail. I threw a red and white daredevil. I threw a couple colors of paddle tails. I threw a topwater lure. I threw a jerkbait. I threw a jointed rapala. Just didn't seem to work. So I don't know. I'm a little bummed out with the fishing, but I think I'm gonna go cook a meal. I got something special in mind. Well, I was unable to bring in fish for a fish dinner tonight, but I have a backup plan for a special meal tonight. I'm gonna do chicken fajitas. Now, something that a lot of people don't realize about the boundary waters, you're not allowed to have any canned goods here. And I'm on day 2, so I can't be bringing fresh meat in with me anymore. So I'm going with chicken out of the pouch here. Of course, the chicken's already cooked. Just getting the vegetables to soften up. I'll put the seasoning in, throw in the tortilla. It's gonna be good. Smells really good. That is tasty. After a long day on the water, all that paddling, a little bit sense of disappointment in not catching more fish, that really hits the spot. Well, it looks like the sun went down. Mosquitoes started coming out. The temps are definitely cooling off a little bit, so I think it's time to build a fire. I'm gonna get rid of these mosquitoes, a little bit of smoke. And I have a special treat planned tonight for desserts. Before I came on the trip, I prepared a mixture of oatmeal, brown sugar, and cinnamon to go with the apples. I'm really looking forward to dessert tonight. This is gonna taste amazing. Decided I was gonna cook this over here. The fire grate makes it kind of hard to cook on the fire. It's okay if you do like a steak or something, but yeah, can't quite get the temperature right. So I'm just gonna cook it on. The apples have absorbed the cinnamon and flavoring. That is really good. Well, my original plan was to watch the stars come out tonight and sit around the campfire. I did that last night. It was just stunningly beautiful, staring at the sky and seeing the moon come up. But it's cloudy, and I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna go to bed. It just didn't seem like the night to watch stars, so instead I decided to come in and hang out in my tent. And I thought you might be curious to see what it was like inside one of these hammock tents. Not super big. You know, if you are claustrophobic, you probably would not like it in here. But if you're like me and not claustrophobic, it's pretty comfy. You had plenty of space to stretch out. I slept in one of these one night when it was storming about a month ago when I was camping, and stayed dry. Very comfy. We'll see how I feel in the morning. So anyway, I'm gonna read for a while and we'll see you in the morning. What a beautiful world that God made. And I'm fortunate to be able to enjoy it. This beautiful part of the world, the Boundary Waters. So even though I don't have any great fishing stories, I didn't land the big one, didn't even get my fish dinner that I'd planned. This was an epic adventure. What an awesome, amazing experience. This morning for breakfast, I'm gonna have fry bread scones. These are pretty easy to make. You can make them at home, real simple too. Just buy frozen dough for rolls. They're about the perfect size. And if I'm camping, I take them frozen. They last a couple days from the cooler pack. At home, you just pull them out, make sure they're thawed. You just squish them down and stretch them out, and you get a flatbread scone. And you can have your own fry bread scone. Of course, at home, I would recommend a pair of tongs for moving them out of the oil. Now, I'm not going to eat this much myself for breakfast, But today, since I'm leaving, I'm paddling out, I'm going to make a few extra pizzas to take with me in my lunch pack because I'll be eating while I paddle and portage today. Here you go, warm, fresh bread, dipped in some honey butter sauce. Wow. That tastes really good. You know, as I sit here having my last morning on the lake here, I can't help but be overwhelmed by certain thoughts and emotions. The word solo means something different to me now than it did a couple days ago. It has made me realize how much I enjoy the interaction of people, particularly my family. You know, it's only been a couple of days, but I already miss my family. Really enjoy the time with my kids, and of course my wife. I look forward to getting home and being with them again. But it has been good to get away. It's been really good to be by myself for a couple of days. I really hope you like this video. This has been a different one to make than any of those I've made before, just because it's all been by myself. If you made it this far, you probably have enjoyed what you've seen. Please help me out. Click the subscribe button. Follow me so you see more of my videos. Also, there's a like button down there. That really helps when you click on that. Please do so. And of course, watch another video. We've got a lot of other great videos. I have other videos of the Boundary Waters, other videos of me fishing, exploring, traveling different places. If you like this video, I think you'd like another. This video's been tough to make. A little more difficult than some of theirs because it's all by myself. I've had to think about camera shots. I've done all on my GoPro and my phone, and moving the GoPro around, moving the camera around, trying to figure out if I'm in the frame or not. I hope the footage turns out because I'm not standing behind the lens looking at it. I have no one else to tell me where to move. The sun's in my face. It's just been me trying to capture the moment. So thanks for joining me on this trip. Thanks for spending some time with me. I hope you enjoyed the Boundary Waters as much as I have. If you ever get a chance to do something like this, get out. Go paddle, go explore, go hike, go outside, and of course, go fishing.